Now, in the scenario we're in, there is not two forces of power. So there is no negotiation that can be of any effect when one group of people have been vanquished and are lying somewhere in the abyss, and the other ones are just thumping.
The reason these things are not publicly acknowledged it is because they're just deals, not discussion to resolve underlying issues in the country. It's just deals. Someone, what is your problem? I have lost an election. Can you put me somewhere? Can you put you on a board of banana plantation? Yes, sir. Same problem.
The whole thing is a joke. Museveni has never been somebody who has dialogues with anybody. He has never been, he's never going to be. There is no leopard that changes its spots at 81. It's not going to happen. So the honest truth is, first of all, you're talking about dialogue. Somebody stood against you, you gave him 21%. The man can't even be in the country. You're looking for him as if he's a rebel. So when people think that power belongs to them as a right, then even when you come to challenge power in very legitimate means, they look at you as if you're a thief because you're coming for something which belongs to him.
Period. It's pretty much telling Bobi Wine, you cannot engage these folks. They do not believe in dialogues. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Asked just a few days ago about the alleged ongoing backroom meetings or negotiations between himself and the Museveni criminal regime, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert, famously known as Bobi Wine, dismissed this. He said, these are not going on. There's nothing like the negotiation between myself and Museveni. Nile Post, a sister company to NBS and the Next Media ginormous conglomerate, had reported that there were negotiations between Bobi Wine camp and Museveni camp to ensure that Bobi Wine gets, quote, secure and dignified return. Bobi Wine dismissed this, and a few other authorities within the National Unity Platform said this is not happening. However, that has not stopped NBS television from hosting a myriad of shows where they've made negotiations, these alleged negotiations, their major conversation. Look, I am not surprised, but I am here to expose or to show you why they're going on with this conversation. But in doing so, Joseph Kabuleta, former presidential candidate, has come out to dismiss this dialogue, saying there's no way you can engage with Museveni. Museveni has these egotistical, narcissistic, superiority complex tendencies of thinking that he's the best man, he's the one who should form the conditions and terms for any dialogue. He looks at himself as a liberator. I'm yet to understand what does he mean by liberating what? From corruption to corruption? From abduction of people, torturing them and killing them to the same? I don't understand, but he's deluded himself. He's lied to himself, and now he believes the lie. So you cannot negotiate him. That's what pretty much, or in summary, Joseph Kabuleta was trying to say. And that's what we're going to be doing here. I'll be playing you some of his words and his advice to the National Unity Platform, and then I'll be giving my commentary. But before I do that, ladies and gentlemen, allow me give you a few lines of where I usually refer you to go and read, and that is Manufacturing Consent by Noam Chomsky and Edward Herman, where they tell you why do some media houses or media outlets decide to stick on one topic forever, even when you find that topic boring, even when there's no but interested. They will say, you've got to watch this. It is manufacturing attention. It is manufacturing consent. I'll get back to that later. But for now, let's listen to Kabuleta.
And in any case, dialogue has to happen when there are two forces of power. Even if one might be the lesser force of power, but there has to be two forces of power. Now, in the scenario we're in, there is not two forces of power. So there is no negotiation that can be of any effect when one group of people have been vanquished and are lying somewhere in the abyss, and the other ones are just thumping.
Yeah, that's what's going on. You know, Museveni prides himself in being this Sabaranyi, this master of violence. My soldiers have guns that carry 120 bullets. He's rebel-minded. He's never healed from the years of fighting in the bush. Like I said, I'll wait forever. If someone can show me if there was anything to do with rehabilitation after the 1986 war, zero. And Museveni hasn't really left the bush war mentality. He still looks at everyone as an enemy. That's why you see the abduction of kids, of boys. He ends up calling them terrorists. I mean, his mind is fight. His mind is using like a hammer to kill a small insect. Like, that's how he believes. So you cannot engage a man like that one.
So what would happen would not necessarily be dialogue. It would just be negotiating terms of surrender.
Yep.
Because, you see, they say you cannot negotiate peace unless you demonstrate that you have the ability to disrupt peace. So for many times people fight just to show that I can spoil things, but they are fighting to negotiate, to be in a position where they can negotiate. But now nobody here has anything where they can. If I say that I'm not going to negotiate, I'm not going to have dialogue with the Museveni government, how are they going to be affected, if at all? I don't think there's so much. So I don't think there's two centers of power. There's one center of power. What people call dialogue is just coming together and seeing who is willing to work together, and job distribution and things like that. Basically negotiating terms of surrender.
That's really sad. Negotiating terms of surrender, because in Museveni's mindset, he's a Machiavellian. You want to go on and read The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli, a book he wrote in the 1600s to King Lorenzo de Medici. They believe in vanquishing. They believe in coercion, manipulation, utter control, dominating. He doesn't look at you as a human being. He looks at you as an enemy that should be extirpated, eviscerated, that should be dismantled or annihilated. Use any term you want to use. So it is very difficult to engage Museveni. He doesn't believe. And don't take my word for it. I mean, there's a video on a BBS channel. Go on and search for it. Put in Museveni, Winnie Byanyuma or Museveni, BBS Telefina, where she tells us, used to be a girlfriend for Museveni, so she knows him really. She said, Museveni is one at this moment is extremely paranoid, but that paranoid added with an element with him, narcissism. These are words of Winnie Byanyuma telling us that, this is a narcissistic man, and rightly so. You can see what is done in the past and how he continues to behave. Pay attention to his speeches. He believes that he's this kind of a special type of a human being. I am a modern day king. I am a Sabaran. You do not say that. Let us look at you and be like, hey, you deserve to be called a modern day king. But the moment you start looking at yourself and be like, oh, I am this, then you're telling us your egotistical worldview. Sad. Okay. I think he mentioned something about these folks are looking at getting jobs and stuff like that. It is true. Let me play what Ibrahim Semjunganda, the outgoing member of parliament for Chila municipality, said about, for example, negotiations between Museveni and Yusuf Nsibambi. Are you kidding me? Museveni look at the likes of, let's say, he used to have a very good advisor. I'm just forgetting his name. But Museveni will replace those really educated, traveled, exposed, well-read man with Buchamani. Now, no offense to Buchamani, but I'm telling you, let's look at the point of meritocracy. Are you deserving to be in the particular position? Are you going to, and I remember now, Museveni is going to replace Nagenda with Jennifer Full-Figure. So tell me that Museveni is going to have a conversation with Yusuf Nsibambi about the release of Dr. Chiza Besigye.
So the reason these things are not publicly acknowledged, it is because they're just deals, not discussion to resolve underlying issues in the country. It's just deals. So, what is your problem? I have lost an election. Saka, can you put me somewhere? Can you put you on a board of banana plantation? Yes, sir. Same problems.
Sad, really sad. We laugh. No, those things are not funny. They're really sad, but we don't want to cry. Put me on a board of banana plantations. Absolutely. I've heard people say that when you meet Museveni, the first question he asks is, what do you want? Would you want to go and study from abroad? Do you want me to construct you a house? How much money do you need? Do you want me to appoint you as my RDC or whatever? His mindset is to manipulate people and pull them on his side. That's not a bad thing. If you're pulling them on a side you believe is good, but Museveni's mission is a consolidation of power by all means necessary. Sad. Okay, now let's go back to this gentleman, Kabuleta, where he really sort of warns Bobi Wine. Listen here. I like this. Okay.
Social affairs for 10 years. That is the job of president.
Those things. And many others in Munyonyo. I remember following it very
dialogue. But what is it about dialogue that has been felt to be unlocked?
The honest truth, the answer is Museveni.
Exactly.
Nobody trusts that he ever has an interest in dialogue. That meeting which he's talking about of iPod, which was in Munyonyo, I remember following it very well. The meeting was supposed to start at 10 a.m. That's when all the leaders of other parties came. Museveni sauntered in, putting on sandals.
I love his selection of words. Sauntered in.
And some chilegeza shirt at 5 p.m.
Okay. I remember. I'll show you. I was looking at that picture to confirm. I saved the photo right here. I'll show you, ladies and gentlemen. This is how Museveni looked. As all these, the Nobatima of our days and the Jimmy Akena had the best suits and ties, were all looking suave, debonair. Choose any term you want to use. Look at how Museveni decided to dress up on this very important occasion. Look at that yellow t-shirt, look at those pants, and then look at the sandals. He doesn't really care. This man looks at these people as tools. He doesn't really care about them. And I like how he usually mocks people. He looks at you and says, okay, what's your name? Nobati Mao, a wonderful wordsmith, a wonderful leader, somewhat presidential, cares about the law, president of the Democratic Party, and says, okay, I think I'm going to make you Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. Now let me see how you're going to arrest my son. I'm going to let my son commit all crimes in real time, and let me see what you're going to do. Zero. That's him, Museveni, telling them that you're nothing to me. That's his mindset. He doesn't really care about these people. And it is really sad. I mean, you have to pay attention to what Museveni says. You'll be heartbroken. He demonizes people, doesn't believe in people at all. Okay, let's go back to Kabuleta.
And his dressing was sending a point. And he doesn't do those things.
The man is an old man.
No, he puts on suits when he has to go to... Wait. Let me tell you. There are certain things you have to know that people do things for a reason. If you call me for your wedding and I come putting on shorts, you know that there is a message I'm trying to put to you. And so he came in dressed very casually in sandals at 5 p.m. People have been waiting from 10 a.m. And his speech was about how he defeated...
We have seen pictures in State House where President Museveni is with the Russian ambassador, with the American ambassador, with the sandals.
Now, now the other thing, like for instance, the thing of what? When I saw him swearing in the Chief Justice at his farm on a Saturday, and he sitting there with his wife, I just knew this is a message he's trying to push across. That the judiciary are not all that. You see, and you see, they are. Wait, let me finish. Let me finish. No, Marago is an official thing.
No, it's a private residence.
No, but
okay. These people are comparing U.S. president to Uganda, to Museveni, and saying, oh, have you seen Trump at Mar-a-Lago, or if he's playing golf and stuff like that? Like, these people are really out of touch. There's no connection at all. There's no comparison whatsoever.
But you see the man seated there on a chair with his wife, and the Chief Justice is swearing in on a Saturday or at a farm. And then you know that there's a message he's trying to push across.
No. Let me just say, I was in the Committee of Presidential Affairs for 10 years. That is the job of State House Comptroller.
State House Comptroller, like they do anything. These people, I don't understand. Like these people have to really pretend like Museveni even cares about that. He puts them there for, in case I can blame somebody for something, occupy that position. Or I've got a friend of mine who is looking for somebody, whose daughter is looking for a job. Okay, I'll hire this person. There's a video where Museveni was addressing the country. I think it was during COVID, and he reached to drink. And out of respect, I think it is a State House Press Unit, I don't know what's called, Presidential Press Unit, PPU, they had to pan the camera, remove it from him, so that he's not shown on TV drinking. He must spill tea, he might spill tea or porridge, I don't know what he was drinking. He immediately, went after them. It's like, why are you taking away the camera? Let it look at me. This is a man who's going to hold a Kleenex or whatever, any tissue or something to clean his nose, and he's going to keep on talking. I want to tell you, Muribavu. He did this in Busoga. He was, sneezing and oh boy, he doesn't really care. Oh, this State House Comptroller. He does. If he wanted to wear a T-shirt or if he wanted to walk naked, they would just be like, oh, Mister, you look so nice. Look at what Muhoozi does. This guy, Odongoto is going to tell you, there's a minister called the Minister Barambarugahara. Look at what he does. He tortures people, and what Barambarugahara says, you're so good, Muhoozi. Torture him. It doesn't mean a thing. Jeez, these people.
And we put them to task. We have seen President Museveni going to meet nursery school children, and he's putting on army gears. His dress is covered all of his head like he's going to harvest honey and bees. The State House Controller has to determine how the president dresses.
Now, do you see the lie, just talking to fill air? So you were in these committees when you told him, what did he do? Has he changed at all? Absolutely not. Or they have to explain. They don't care. A parliament summoned Muhoozi Kainerugaba. He said, I don't appear before clowns. Oh, I sit in this committee.
Where a function should take place.
Let me finish my point. Let me finish my point.
It's really sad reducing people to mere jokes, and where they talk things, just for fun. Let me say this. We have this committee that is supposed to do this, but we do nothing and we eat money. But let me tell you so that you sort of give me respect that I am special. I'm in this committee. Let me tell you about this committee. We are presidential, blah, 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 but it does nothing.
All these so-called dialogues, it's about, when, I don't know, let me give an example which is interesting. When we were young, and there are these people who wanted to sell themselves as as ladies' men, and so they wanted to give the impression that they have been with every girl. So now you come to visit him, the guy will escort you outside, putting on a short, and he's sending a message, and yet there is nothing which has happened. Like, but he's sending a message, so everybody who sees you coming out of his room, and he's putting on shorts and a sleeveless t-shirt, they say, and then he says, you see. Now, those people go for dialogue, and they put the dress up. Like, the whole thing is a joke. Museveni has never been somebody who has dialogues with anybody. He has never been, he's never going to be.
Yep.
There is no leopard that changes its spots at 81. It's not going to happen.
Yep.
So, the honest truth is, first of all, you're talking about dialogue. Somebody stood against you, you gave him 21%. The man can't even be in the country. You're looking for him as if he's a rebel. He has a legitimate political party, which has members of parliament. You go and ransack his house, and go and, I don't know, whatever, do to his wife and so on. And he has done nothing wrong. So they say when people think that power belongs to them as a right, then even when you come to challenge power in very legitimate means, they look at you as if you're a thief because you're coming for something which belongs to him.
Period. It's pretty much telling Bobi Wine, you cannot engage these folks. They do not believe in dialogues.
So now, how can you tell me there is dialogue when Bobi Wine who has done nothing wrong? If there is any crime he has committed, let them state it out here. Nothing wrong. But they are talking about how they are going to hang him on which tree, going to do what. The man outwitted them and ran out of the country after they had searched for him for some time. And the truth is, he felt his life was in danger. And that's a view I share. Okay? Now, the man ran out of the country. Then I saw how they went to doing their psyops on these radio stations and all that, and televisions. Not this one, thankfully. Getting people.
Of course, that one, but not this one, thankfully.
People saying that, no, they just let him go. Like, they came and took everybody away from the airport. And
those words were said on that station, dude, by none other than Munyagwa.
And let him go, because there are two things they're worried about. They don't want people to know that their intelligence operations are fake. They are not as good as they think they are. The man was in this country for more than a month when they were looking for him, and he escaped. And he went. So that doesn't say a lot about. Wait, let me finish.
Our intelligence not there because it's for Uganda. Our intelligence is there.
But some
I don't like it when people usually want to bring in those funny jokes when a serious matter is being discussed. Let's laugh. I don't like it, even when like if someone is saying something really brilliant, and look, I love laughter. I laugh all the time. But there are situations where you don't have to engage in the
let me tell you, you know what the word oxymoron means? Oxymoron means when you use two words like intelligence
that are diametrically opposed.
So yeah, did it talking about people who are not necessarily intelligent. So, but you call them intelligence. So the honest truth is, so they are trying to create this scenario that, this was part of our game and what. But why are you hunting the guy down? Why are you hunting him down? Now, okay, the first thing of dialogue, that's what happened also basically in 2001 when he stood for presidency. And he had to run out of the country and spend time in South Africa just for the crime, as it were, of contesting for power in a legitimate election. He spent all the time in between elections and came back at the end of, towards the next election. And what did he do? What was his crime? Then they rape, there's what, and all sorts of things. So nobody believes that Museveni has any interest whatsoever in dialogue. He doesn't. He's never going to. He never has. Even when he was not in power, he was telling people, Rutwa, that they are having peace talks in Kenya, yet he was advancing his army.
Yeah. He's evil-minded to the core. Like evil as they can. This man is evil. I don't know. Even when he laughs, sometimes I look at him and I'm like, is he really laughing? Is that laughter serious? Or what is he trying to do here? I don't think he's laughing. And I don't hate the man because I might say he's evil. Then you'll be like, you hate the man. No, he's evil-minded. I hate the evil in him. I don't have any problem with a human being called Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, a farmer. The only problem I have with his evil mind is it affects the country. We have to undo all this mess he's going to leave our country in, and that he's been able to use his evil manipulative tactics to gaslight so many people to the point that they defend even the indefensible. I mean, imagine you have these ministers, you have this RDC, whatever, none of them will resign. To be like, this is beyond acceptable. Like, not even one person. When Muhoozi Kainerugaba is posting about those kind of things, even when Museveni comes and says, we've been torturing 2 Kenyans, we've been keeping them in a fridge, like no one is going to resign because they think the president has a right to do whatever he wants to you. That's how he's like. Anyways, I thought that was a very interesting conversation from Joseph Kabuleta, making wonderful points. Museveni doesn't believe in the engagements, and I don't know if Bobi Wine engages with Museveni. I think that's one thing I won't be backing unless there's more details that will change my mind. And what I mean, if they're engaging in a conversation where Museveni says, I'm going to leave power, I might be like, hey, yes, let's go. But what else? Unless it is announcing surrender. Anyways, that's it for now, ladies and gentlemen. Please consider subscribing, share, and like this video. Comment in the down in the comment section and let me know what you think. Bye-bye for now. See you later.
Did you enjoy what you just watched?
I'm sure they did.
I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa Live YouTube channel? Thank you.